Hello, Lee, Art of Light Images, and this is the second part of the Mavic 2 Zoom unboxing video. If you've not caught the first part yet, you need to watch that one first because it's the first one and this is the second one and it might not make sense, if that makes sense. Alright guys, enjoy. So some people might think, why would you go for a Mavic Zoom? Why not get the Mavic Pro 2? I like the Zoom. I think that it gives me more creative options. I've owned a Phantom 4 Pro, so I've had a 1-inch sensor on a drone, and that's supposed to be a better sensor than the one on the Mavic 2 Pro. So I know what I can get out of a 1-inch sensor, and to be honest with you, quality, yeah, it's a little bit better, more in low light situations. It doesn't help out with regards to depth of field. It's not like a camera where you can get really close to something and blur out something behind it, depending on how close you get. But I do find that with the zoom, the compression blur that I get from zooming in close to a subject does give me some nice bokeh in the background, which is pretty good. The other thing, I just think the parallax effect, I really like that. I like compressing the background. I think it makes for better landscape shots. In normal light conditions, you're not going to see the difference between a Mavic 2 Zoom image and a Mavic 2 Pro image if you color grade it, and if you put it out there to an audience, no one's going to be able to pick which one is which. However, if you use the zoom function to zoom in on distant objects, mountains and things like that, you can really compress the background, and it really lends itself to a nice cinematic look. So that's my main reason. Also, the zoom allows me to get closer to things, closer to people, closer to buildings, closer to monuments than I can legally fly without actually having to break the law. So that's a fantastic thing to have as well. So for me, it's more of a bonus to have the zoom than the Pro with the 1-inch sensor. I don't think a 1-inch sensor actually makes it a more professional drone, if I'm honest. I think it's just a bit of an advertising gimmick. So there's the box. So you've got the drone opened out on one side. Again, just like the Fly More kit, a very Spartan kind of a box. And then there's the drone in closed position there. So let's just open this one up. Again, that nice satisfying feeling pulling off the wrapper. Okay, so I've just got that annoying, so this doesn't even have that weird sort of tape that you would normally have. So I've had one of these before, but I forgot how the box opens. So the lid lifts off like that. We get rid of that, and now we've got a plain white box, and now we've got the annoying tape bit. Try and get my nail under here. I cut my nails yesterday. Just not equipped to open a box like this. Right, here we go. Trying to take it off carefully, but here's another thing. In case you need to send it back, or if you're reselling it, just protect this so it looks better. So just folding it back on itself so I can use it again. Basically, that's the main reason for that. Right then, there it is. So there's the Mavic 2 Zoom. And let's have a look what we have in the box. So a little white box, a little bit of a bigger little white box, or a slightly larger little white box, the controller, we've got some documentation, I presume, in here, and then we have the drone itself. Now, if I can get it out. So here's the thing: when I originally bought the Mavic 2 Zoom about a year ago, well over a year ago, about 1.5 years, or August 2018, I was a bit surprised at how heavy it was when I picked it out the box compared to the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro Platinum. It's noticeably heavier. It's not something I'd want to fall and hit somebody on the head. It's a lovely compact drone. It's very well built. There were some things I didn't like, and this was more to do with how the actual arms, or whatever these things are called, appendages, come out. It's just these ones here at the bottom, they scrape. You can feel it scrape a bit. So it scrapes against the side of the body there, and you almost feel as though it's not. And what I tend to do is I kind of pull the arms out a little bit as I rest it back, because I don't want to scratch the body. So I don't know if that's a design fault or if DJI just wanted to make it a tight fitting. I just don't know. In the year or so that I had my Zoom, I never actually saw any marks appear on here, and the leg didn't become loose from me slightly pulling it out as I push it down to not cause it to scrape. But yeah, it's quite a nice compact drone. Just pull this off a sec. So let's see if there's any charge. So you press this down and there's no charge. So normally that would light up in quarter increments to show just what the charge is. So if it's entirely a green light, it's fully charged. If it's 3/4 of a green light around, then it's 3/4 charged, and so on. So you have optical sensors at the bottom. We have an infrared sensor at the bottom. We have an LED lights at the bottom, which are really quite bright. We have a a mini USB socket here, not USB, SD card socket. Then we've got collision avoidance sensors on the back too, one on each of the sides, which only work when you're in flight modes, and 2 collision avoidance sensors on the front. So it doesn't come with the props installed, and there's nothing else in this box, as you can see. Okay, so we'll move the box out of the way, get rid of that bit of plastic. Okay, so the controller, just like any Mavic controller really, it does have the screen in the middle, which gives telemetry data, information on how fast the engines are spinning, or RPM, distance, battery power, signal strength, and so on. And you open out these, and you can fit an iPad mini in here. It kind of corners of the iPad mini come through these slots. I did used to have an iPad mini, but I stopped using it because the nit brightness, I think it was like 340 nits, it just wasn't bright enough in sunlight. I now use a Samsung Galaxy S phone with 1100 nits, and that's a lot better. And then you have, some people call these joysticks. I guess that's like a 1980s thing, joystick. I call them control sticks. Well, it don't really matter. But there you go. And you obviously stow them back when you're done. You can lose these really easily. I've lost them in the past, especially when you're in grass. Right, I wonder if there's any charge here. Let's just press the button. 58% battery, so not so bad. Okay, so what's in the box? A small box. So that's a, I think that's a USB-C to standard USB kind of connector. Then we have 2 more, let's call them joysticks. Then we've got 2 more joysticks. Oh, what's this? Then we've got the phone connectors here, so you can use this for an iPhone, for an Android phone. I'll put those there. Empty box, get rid of this. You used to get 3 of these. You used to get one with USB-C, lightning port, and a standard USB. So I'm imagining that's what this is for. So you'll have to use this. Perhaps, I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure with my last Mavic 2 Zoom, I got 3 separate connectors there. And then we have, let's use a big word, the ubiquitous USB-C to USB 3 connector. Right, let's go for the next sized up box, which I'm sure has the charger in it because it's quite heavy. And there's nothing else in that box. So yeah, there we go. So this is your charger. Again, some lovely plastic. a UK plug, so those living in the States or Australia. I don't think Australia have the same plugs. We'll look at this plug and think, what the hell, look at the size of that plug. It's actually quite small, it's normally a bit bigger than this, so there you go. Don't need that, but I will keep it just in case. Right, and of course this will connect, as I said before, into the bottom here, and then you charge it, put the batteries in, like so. Right, let's go for this sort of flat box. I'm imagining this has got the props inside, since I've not seen them yet, and it's the last box to open. Yes, so that's it, nothing else in there. So, bag of props, bag of props, bag of props. So basically I've got 2 props in each bag, so they're giving me 2 extra. So with the Fly More kit, that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 extra props. I've got as many again when the props are installed onto the drone. Bit of cardboard, which I'll keep just in case. Mavic 2 disclaimer and safety guidance. Intelligent flight battery safety guidance. Mavic 2 zoom, and that's what it says, and then kind of like I imagine some sort of quick start guide. We're here to help. DJI support. And Mavic 2 zoom. So I guess it's like telling you what's in the box. A bit like when you have sweets, chocolates, and it tells you what's there, and you can't eat this, obviously. Okay, so that's that. So let's put the props on. So with this, we've got two different types of props here, and I'll show you how that works for those who don't know. Get rid of this plastic, get more plastic. I think I might have just had, there we go. Right. So you've got 2 different types of props. You've got a silver kind of circular grommet type thing here, and then on the other side it's just black. Okay, and that allows you to see where they go on the drone, and as you can see I've got two separate sets, and that's the full set for the drone. Okay, we'll put our spare set over here. So basically take the drone. On here you can see, but there's a kind of a silvery white sort of line, so there's 3 dashes, that's probably a better way to explain it. And then on this side it's nothing but black. So you'll put the black to the black, and the silver circle to the silver circle. And all you do is you press down and turn, and that's it, it's in. This is something you need to check as well every time you fly the drone, and I'm not being paranoid in saying that. You can really cock things up. You could take your drone off, and if these aren't installed properly, one could fly off, and then you'll have a really bad time of it, because your drone will just fall out of the sky. Okay, so let's pop this one on. There we go, that's 2. Now the front arms, or at least the ones that pivot from the front, you pull those out first. You have to do this because these bottom arms, they swing out, and of course they can't do that until these arms have been released. Okay, so we'll just pop. There we go, job done. Right then, so there it is. And we've got the camera here. This shroud or camera protector, glass bubble type thing, I wouldn't recommend flying it with this on because it will reflect light and it's just a pain. And also the drone has kind of an air sort of intake just behind here, and I think it kind of blocked that a bit. So we'll just pull this off, and then to take this off you quite literally just put your thumb on there, pull it forwards, pull it out, and there's the zoom lens or the zoom camera. I have ordered some filters for this, and this lens is from the factory. It's really hard to take off and to put filters on the first time. It's absolutely, it feels like it's been wrenched on, and you think you're going to break the drone trying to take this off. So I used an elastic band before when I had a zoom, and I put an elastic band around there, and it gave me enough friction to be able to pull it safely and disconnect this from the camera body, and then put a filter on the end. Right, so that's those parts. Let's move on to the accessories, which are well worth having. So, as I said earlier, this is the PGY Tech propeller holder. I bought this from Amazon. I think it was about £10. That would be about $10. I'm just going to break the box. Quite frankly, it's not like I'm going to be using this packaging again. Plastic, more plastic. Okay, so it comes in two pieces. So this piece goes over the top of the drone, and this holds the front arms in place. And this holds the props in place and secures the bottom arms. And I'll show you how that works. Let's get rid of this cardboard. So of course you have to fold the drone. Right, and so what I do, so I'll take this, I think it fits this way around, and it goes and latches over, just like that. It holds the props against the body and prevents them from scratching the body up, which is great because it improves its resale value should you wish to resell this drone, and it secures nicely from the side. So for £10, it really is worth having. I find that when you use these DJI carry bags, you put your drone in and it kind of snags the props and things, and you almost feel you're going to break your drone when you're trying to take it out of the bag. So that was the main reason for me buying these. I've had them before. With this, you have underneath two sort of cutouts, and then you have this hole at the front. And the way this works is the back, well, the bottom props, they fit in here, and this kind of connects to the back of the landing struts here. So it basically just fits. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Normally I would let's just put it down, upside down. So it kind of fits like this. So you have to lift the props a little bit to get it in. You just push it down, and there you go. And that just holds it onto there. So now the underneath props are secure. There you go. So yeah, well worth having. Right, the final thing. The leg extensions, again, PGY Tech. Let's open this one up. If I can get in here. Oh. I just bent my nail back. Ouch. Get rid of that. So some instructions, but you won't need those because I'll show you how to use this. A little logo in some plastic. And then there's some more plastic. And then we've got the actual leg extensions in this foam sort of casing. There we go. Right, so let's take this lot off because I have to have the legs out in order for this to work. Right. Legs, arms, I don't know what you call them. Perhaps I could call these legs and those arms. Anyway, all you do is you've got two different types of landing struts or legs. The large ones fit on the back and the smaller ones fit on the front. So they're shaped to actually fit the legs or the leg struts. So you just push that on both sides. I tend not to push them down too hard because they can get stuck. I think it's a case of suction or something. Anyway, so I'll pop that there. And then just here, these actually latch on. They've got a latch and they fit in a contoured shape and they fit to the back. If I can remember how to do this. Yeah, so it fits to the back like so, you see? So it fits on, shape fits with the leg, put the latch around, press it closed, if it's going to, there you go, that's done. And then the other side. So again, same thing, just pop it on. There you go, and that's it. So those are the leg extensions. And there it is. So that's the Mavic. Looks a bit scruffy, doesn't it? That's just, so that's the Mavic 2 Zoom and the Fly More kit with additional PGY leg extensions and prop guards. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Okay. Catch you later. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Have fun. Get out there, do something interesting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and all those other fun things. Okay, catch you later guys.